Good afternoon, everyone. This is John. I'm here to give you a few training tips today on, as you can see, we're using the BOSU. So this is functional training at its finest. It's going to deal with some proprioception, some balance, core, and it's also going to deal with symmetry is one of the big things that you could use. If you have clients that are like competing in any sort of competitions, some of the things I'm going to show you would really help them with building some symmetry within mainly their upper body. So as we know, I'm going to use one BOSU, but then we're going to pull in two. So the first thing I'm going to show you is a hip bridge and then a chest exercise on the BOSU. So we know that when we're using the BOSU, we're going to use balance. So I'm going to pull for the hip bridge, the hips very close to the BOSU. I'm going to put the heels on and then the toes up. That is going to get me more activity through the back of the legs. I'm going to lay back. I'm going to bridge the hips up. So I have this nice, it's like a sliding board for a child from the knees down to the chest. Now, if I have the hands on the floor, that's going to give me a little bit more balance. If you want to challenge your client and their core and balance, cross the arms across the chest so that you can lower the hips and raise the hips and lower the hips and raise the hips. This is both feet on. So if you want to challenge them, you could bring one leg off, of course, level with the knee or bring it higher. And then you can do the lower and lift, or you can lower and lift through the hip using more of the muscles through the hip here. Or really challenge them with the one leg. You can have them cross the arms here. Now there's no support through the floor. So this is a lot more work through the core, through the balance, and it would build up more of the symmetry through the obliques mainly, and then through the hips as well as you lift and lower. So that is the one for the lower body here, lowering and lifting the hips. So moving on to the chest version with the one BOSU. So I'm going to come around. I'm going to put my shoulder blades on the slope of the BOSU. Still going to have the legs bent. This is a comfortable position here. The head is elevated. You don't really want them to rest the head. You would still want to keep it slightly lifted. I'm going to grab my hand weights. Usually on here, it's a little lighter weight than they would have if they were on the bench. The bench is stable, so they can usually press more weight. This is not a stable surface. They're going to rock right and left. This is where that symmetry thing comes in. Each side has to carry more of its own load. The stronger side is not going to carry the weaker. I know that's usually with a bar, the bilateral as opposed to unilateral, but it's still the same here. Even though you have the two weights with the bench, you still get that support through the bench. You don't have that down here. You are on a slant, so they don't want to hold the weights over the head. They still want to hold the weights more over the chest to take it out of the shoulders. You have both arms pressing. Here's your regular chest press, but you're still going to have a little bit of this going on, so each side has to work much more on its own. If you wanted to make it even more unilateral, you could have them alternate here. Of course, now I'm still holding the other weight, so it's still more balanced. So if you really wanted to take it out, get rid of one weight, have them put this hand on the knee, and now you're really working that one side. So this is also, they're going to feel this down into their core. Want to make it even more functional and unilateral, have them lift one leg up, opposite leg, and now they're really feeling it more in the core as well. So as you can see, because of this, they're not going to be able to do the normal weight they would do on the bench because all of this is participating, which doesn't have to participate on the bench because they have that stable surface. So it's just a different dynamic based on the goal you're going for the exercise. You're not going on for them that muscular strength of having them push as much weight as the chest can handle in like 6 to 8 to 10 to 12 reps. You're going for a different dynamic of function, core, and a more endurance, getting them more reps out of that. So now let's see what happens when we pull in a second BOSU. Your client's going to be maybe a little terrified when they see this, but as I always tell them, some things are deceptive. They look a little bit more challenging than they actually are when they actually get into them. So of course you want to set this up according to their body length. I tease them, you just say afterwards when I get them in this, that it's like working out in a canoe. So what I'm going to have here is, I'm going to do the lower body one first. You're still going to be on the slope of the BOSU with your upper body. And then I'm going to have I still have the mat here for them because it is a little bit, depending on your flooring, a little bit of pressure on your coccyx bone down there. So what I'm going to do, hands here, toes still up, same position, I've just got both BOSUs. I'm going to bridge the hips up. Now you can rest the head down here on this one. Same here, you're going to want these hands here at first so they get used to it. Now you can still lower and lift the hips. Now I've got loss of balance through both the lower body and the upper body. I've got that going on through the chest and the upper back. Now, take this away here. Oh, now I really feel like I'm in a canoe, down and up. And then if you want to add the one leg, have them do it with the hands down first. Get that one leg going. Now it's going to feel like this leg is going to pull you off to the side, so this oblique is fighting to keep you up, and that right hand. You really want to make it tough. Haven't done this one in a while. Woo! Cross both hands. That is really advanced. So you're going to have to work a little harder for that one. All right, so the chest one is actually my favorite. It's the same progression that we had on the floor. You just have much more of a loss of balance in the lower body. So the core is kicking in a lot more, and all the chain of muscles up the back of the lower body are kicking in. So you're getting a lot more activation through the hamstrings and through your glutes. So you're gonna drive up here. You can rest the head now on this one. Arms up. Here's your chest press here. So immediately, if you can see it, that little back and forth, you can see going on through my heels on the Bosu. Drive it down, drive it back up. All right, same thing. I can leave this one up, do one side. I can do all of them reps on one side, or I can just alternate right and left. And then, if I lose that one weight, whoo, I really would want them to put the hand, if they were really uneasy, depending on the condition of the client, they could have the hand on the floor. If they were uneasy at first, and then progress to up here. Now you've got this up here. Now, I'm not only am I feeling my oblique, this glute on this side is really kicking in to keep me from falling off of this side of the Bosu. So you're really getting a full body workout up here. So if you have your bodybuilder up here, someone that's competing, they're after symmetry, they're gonna get it in more places than one, even though the goal would mainly be the chest. They're gonna feel that through the entire chain of the body going up and down. It's gonna be surprising for them. It might hurt their pride a little bit at first because they're gonna wanna get down here with their regular weight, and that's not gonna happen. Because if they do that and they jump right into this, they're gonna fall right off to the side. So you need to talk them off that ledge, bring their weight down, and maybe eventually they can motivate them to work up to their regular weight back on here, but that's gonna come with some time. So these are just a couple things you can do with 2 Bosus. You can also add 3 in different ways, but that's more for standing stuff, but that could come during another session. So I hope you've gotten some out of this, something you can use for a different range of clients. Remember, you can always start with one level, progress up. You can take what I did and take it with a client and progress down based on what is good for that client, where they are in their life, and what is gonna fit for their goals. So if you got any questions, let me know, and hope to see you soon. Thanks so much. Have a good afternoon. Bye.